'cause I'm just trying to live my life. We can turn it all around. I'm not searching for years, like body holding tight. We can turn it all around. Look out, we gotta ride. We can turn it all around. Look out, we gotta ride.
Alright guys, we have the next act. He is absolutely amazing. He has been working with some of the biggest names as a producer, as a musician, and as a manager. This guy knows the business, and he knows good business. So here to share his story is Raul, everybody. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Big thank you. I'm so honored to be here today at the Stand Up Revolution Leadership Conference. Big thanks to Scott Graham and Kids for Kids. Guys, are you having a good time? Make some noise if you're having a good time. I want to talk to you guys today about being different. Has anyone ever made you feel like you were different than other kids? That you look different, sound different, act different? Can you remember the first time you were made to feel like you were different? I was born an only child here in Toronto, but my parents moved us to New York when I was only 6 months old. Then in grade 2, we moved to Melbourne, Australia. That was the first time I can remember being made to feel like I was different. In my first week of school, our teacher showed us the original cartoon version of Disney's The Jungle Book. Afterwards, the kids in the class started making fun of me by saying I was brown and from the jungle, like the kid in the movie. It was in that moment that I realized the color of my skin was different than the rest of the kids in my school, and they thought that was a bad thing. Later that day during lunch, our teacher then told me to give my lunch to her. Our teacher then told the class I didn't need to eat lunch like the rest of them because I would just go outside, climb a tree, and eat some bananas. Even at that young age, I knew what my teacher had said and done was wrong, but I didn't know what to do about it, so I was the only kid who went hungry that day. My parents moved us back to New York after 2 years in Australia, but then we started traveling every summer to visit my family in India. My parents were born in India, but like so many Canadians, they'd come here for a better life. The first time I went to India, I was in grade 4. I remember thinking if everyone in India was the same color that I was, then I would totally fit in. But the second I arrived in my cousin's neighborhood, I knew I was in trouble. I was dressed completely different than my cousin and his friends, and I didn't know how to speak the same language they did. My cousin's friends would make fun of me every day I was there and call me American boy in their language and tell me to go back to my country. When I was in grade 7, my family decided to leave New York and move back to Canada. Since I was born in Toronto, I thought I would finally be accepted here, but I was wrong again. When the kids in the class found out I was from New York, once again I became the American boy. To make things worse, some of the kids in my class were sports fanatics. Every time a New York team beat a Canadian team, those kids would get mad at me or beat me up. Toronto sports teams weren't having a good season, so neither did I. Then something happened that I thought would change my luck once and for all. I found out one of the most popular girls in our school had just moved to Toronto from Boston. Her name was Rachel. One day a classmate told her I was from New York, and during lunch Rachel sat with me. Now keep in mind I'd been eating lunch alone for weeks, and now one of the most popular girls in school wanted to sit with me. Rachel started talking to me in class every day after that, making all the other guys jealous. At the first school dance a few weeks later, I noticed Rachel hanging out with her girlfriends. I don't know what came over me, but I decided to take a big chance and ask Rachel to dance when a slow song came on. And you guys are awesome. She said yes. I'd never even been on a date, and yet here I was in front of everyone at school with one of the most popular girls in my arms. Now I wish I could tell you that Rachel and I started dating after that dance, and that I became one of the popular guys in school, but that isn't what happened. Some of the guys that used to beat me up started spreading rumors that I had said bad things about Rachel. And some of the girls in our school started making fun of Rachel for dancing with me. Rachel never danced with me again. In fact, she never even spoke to me again. So now you know my story. I was in grade 7 with no friends, being beat up all the time, and losing my chance with one of the most popular girls in school. So what did I do about it? If there's been one constant throughout my life, or one thing that's never let me down, it's been music, specifically hip-hop. Since I was a kid, I listened to my favorite rappers talk about how they had made something out of nothing. How they'd experienced terrible things in their lives, but they didn't give up like the people around them did. How they were different. And out of all the things I saw people doing relating to music, what I enjoyed the most was watching VJs, people on TV who were interviewing artists and playing music videos. Even by grade 7, I had quite a big music collection, and I also knew a lot about music, whether lyrics of songs, names of albums, or even history about the artists I was. To work with many of the world's biggest music stars, including Quincy Jones. It sounds crazy to say, but I was also friends with Justin Trudeau before he became Prime Minister, and I'm also friends with Jagmeet Singh, who may become the next Prime Minister. Remember, my classmates thought I was so different that I couldn't even get invited to eat lunch with them in grade 7, and now I'm getting invited to the Grammys, the United Nations, meeting and working with some of the most famous celebrities and politicians in the world. But more important than being famous is that being different is how each of these people became successful. Remember how I was treated in Australia for being different, with everyone making fun of me? Would you believe a magazine in Australia even put my photo next to an article about Canadian movie stars and wrote about how successful I am? Being different has now led me to be written about and sometimes even put on the cover of dozens of magazines and newspapers in Canada and around the world. I was even put in a hip-hop trading card collection. It's taken me a long time, but now when I look back at my bad times in Australia, or even when I first moved back to Toronto, I feel bad for the people who hurt me verbally or physically. You're probably wondering why I feel bad for them when they made those some of the worst times of my life. It's because even then, part of me knew that I wasn't the one with the problem. If someone is making fun of you, it's because they're trying to make themselves feel better by putting you down and calling attention to themselves. This is something that doesn't change in life. Unfortunately, you can come across these people in college and university, at your jobs, or sometimes even strangers will do it. And if you've ever got carried away and made fun of someone because they were different or because your friends were doing it, remember that you could be hurting someone for the rest of their life and you could be doing better things with your time and energy. Sometimes I wish I had done something like tell the principal, tell my parents, or even fought back. It's taken me a long time to become confident in myself, and it's something I still struggle with from time to time. But right now I can tell you that I'm living proof that you can take being different and use it to your advantage.
Kids for Kids Scott Graham, he's got a lot of friends. And this guy coming up is not Shawn Mendes. But I tell you what, he looks like him, but you will probably have seen him. Has anyone here ever seen the Pokemon Go video of the guy like walking on the subway and walking into doors and falling into the lake with his phone and everything like that? You may recognize him from the Noodle Boys, you may recognize him from TV, he's an incredible actor, but more than that, man, he's been a great friend. Him and I went to the Etobicoke School of the Arts together and he is living his dream. Please welcome a Broadway performing magician and comedian, Mark Correa, everybody! I know, I look like Shawn Mendes. I'm sorry, I'm not him, to be honest, but you can tell all your friends you saw him if you take pictures, okay? I'm Mark Correa, I am a magician, and now you're all probably wondering what I'm going to do, but guess what? I'm not going to do the first thing you are. So I want everyone in this room to put your hands out in front of you, just like that. Everyone do this if you can see me. I can see you if you're not doing it. You guys too, you're not too cool for this, alright? Now, put one hand over the other hand like that. So far, so good. Now all you're going to do is practice clapping, because we're going to be doing a lot of it during this show, okay? That's very good. Alright, now stop. We're all going to do it at the exact same time. It's a bit of a game. I'm going to test your reaction time to see who has the best reaction time. So you're going to put your hands in front of you just like that, and when I clap my hands, and only when I clap my hands, you will also clap your hands. So all of our hands will clap at the same time. We will hear if it worked, okay? So stay with me. A little early, but thank you. Here we go. Ready? Again, not only when I clap, okay? Appreciate the enthusiasm. Here we go. Great, that was awful. So now we know what not to do, okay? We're gonna try that again. Hands are in front of you, one hand over the other one. Only clap when I clap, not a moment before, not a moment after. Here we go. Much better. We have some stragglers over here. Doesn't know what's going on. That's okay. Don't worry about it, bro. One hand's in front of you, one over the other one again. All at the same time. Here we go. We'll do a couple in a row. Good. Good. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't clap if I don't clap. Okay, that's the only rule. Put your hands in front of you again. One hand over the other hand. Just don't clap when I don't clap. Here we go. Perfect. Not so hot. Okay, who doesn't understand this? Some people don't. Okay, hands in front of you again. One hand over the other one. Don't clap if I don't clap. This guy here is like a hate this magician already. That's awesome. Okay, here we go. Ready? All at the same time? No. No. That's okay.
we're gonna make it a little bit harder. So I want you to pay very close attention during this magic act, because anything can happen. We're gonna try to misdirect you, okay? Put your hands out in front of you just like this, and hold them there for 1 second. To make this a little more difficult, I want you to clap for my friend and magician, Scott Hamill. Big round of applause.
All right. You guys have your hands out like this. We're gonna do a do as I do exercise, not quite as difficult as Mark's, but I will try and trick you. So whatever I do, you do. It's kind of like Simon Says, except nobody's out. So with your hands straight in front like this, I'd like you to wiggle your thumbs like this. Wiggle your fingers like this. You don't actually have to do that. It just looks funny from my view and everyone's like, yeah. Seriously though, turn your thumbs so that they face the floor. Good, good, good. You're gonna take your right hand over top of your left hand. Clasp your fingers together, don't let go. Right over the left. Even the teachers way at the back are playing along too. That's awesome, thank you very much. Now, 3 quick tests without wiggling any other fingers. See if you can wiggle just your thumbs. Heck yeah, okay, we'll make it harder. Without wiggling any other fingers, see if you can wiggle just your pinkies. Yeah, okay, here's the hard one, Without unlinking your fingers, see if you can turn your thumbs up so that they face the ceiling. But hold on, you gotta do it as I do it, just like this. Put your hands down, I'll teach you. With me, hands out in front like this. On the count of 3, clap once, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, rest your hands. So the secret with this relies on something that magicians use each and every day. It's a helpful hint. The more uncomfortably you hold your hands, the more it's gonna look like you're doing what they're doing. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is if you only kind of half it, your hands don't look like theirs should. If you really crank on them and get into it, your hands look as theirs should. Now, if you notice that they're catching on and you need to misdirect them a little bit more, that's when I say wiggle your thumbs, wiggle the pinkies. Because the conscious mind is only capable of one thought at a time, and that's why the misdirection works. We focus so much of our energy on one specific thing. We choose not to see the magic moments that are happening right in front of us. Now this is something that can be applied when people are calling us names at school, or if you're running an event at your school and things start going wrong with the plan. Instead of focusing our energy on that one specific thing, we need to choose to look at the big perspective, find those magic moments that are happening right in front. You know what? Let's bring Mark back out here. Let's bring Mark back out here and create a magic moment together. Where is he? There he is. Let's create a magic moment together, shall we?
Let's create a magic moment. So when I was younger, when I was thinking about the future that I wanted to have, I was very, very concerned and worried about the choices that I was making. I thought if I wanted to be a good leader, I had to make all the right choices all the time to get towards the future. This is how my brain works. I would have an exam coming up. Maybe I didn't study enough. And I would be worried. I'm going to fail that exam. My grade is going to go down in this class. Then I'm going to end up homeless. Then I'm going to die. That's how dramatic I am, okay? I don't know if anybody feels the same way, but that's not the case. Being a good leader is not about making all the right choices. It's about putting your thoughts into the choices that you're making. So I'm going to show you. We're all going to make some choices in here together. We're going to make the choices at random, and we're going to make a choose your own adventure story. So I'm going to give you prompts, and you guys are going to choose what happens next, okay? So Scott is going to go into the audience. Let's start with one left, the Queen of Hearts. Okay, so that's actually my Instagram. I didn't lie. Scott is holding the card, but not right now. Much earlier, over half an hour ago, before we came out on stage. We took a photo, and I'm sure you have your cell phones on you, and you know what? You should take them out right now. If you have a cell phone, take it out. Yeah, do it. I'm giving you
If your teacher told you to keep your phone away, you can break that rule right now with us.
Just for this moment. Go to Instagram. I want you to go to Instagram right now, and I'm going to spell this out for you. Here we go. Speed counts. Here we go. Go to MARKCORREIA. Mark Correa. It's a picture of me in a straitjacket. If you click that, go look at the last photo that was posted. That's the one.
You got it. Yeah. Perfect. And that was even time-stamped, right? We posted that when you guys were in.
Long time ago. Now, the most important part, even though the trick's over, is that you click follow. Please click follow. And then go to Scott's page and click follow.
He's got it. Right arm, left elbow. Let's give it up for Mark, ladies and gentlemen. Mark's going to work on to step number 2. Step number 2, and this was actually the step where Houdini knocked the screen over. This is what the audience has got to see that made it so compelling. Step number... Mark has been dislocating his shoulders now for so long that his rotator cuff muscles that are supposed to hold them in place no longer do their job. In fact, there are some times we were at Canada's Wonderland last summer riding a roller coaster, and it was so bumpy it dislocated his shoulder. So, not good. He's getting creative. Straitjacket escape, and I have a feeling this is going to be Mark's personal favorite. I know what this looks like, but trust me, well, maybe it is, I can't speak for you. But step number 4 is for Mark to reach his arms through. I know what it looks like, but he's not itching his butt. He's undoing the crotch strap. And again, those of you with the phones, you're welcome to videotape this, post it on YouTube. The front row seats don't look so good now, do they? No. Canvas is used. Did you get it? You got it. You got it. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Canvas is used on the straitjacket because it's a very thick material. That makes manipulating those for Mark to peel it up over his head. It's kind of like taking off a wet shirt. But in the straitjacket, it's made more difficult by the fact that those buckles do get tighter and tighter as he goes. Give him some encouragement, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes things don't always go as planned, but
wait to meet you all after. Have a great rest of the conference. Goodbye.
Applause for Shane Ripley, everybody!
That's better. That's better. Hi! How are you all doing today? Woo! There are a lot of you here. And I haven't done one of these for a while, so if I'm a little shaky, you'll understand why. No, I'm kidding. But it's great to be able to be in front of all of you and speak for such a good cause. He's just, they're a little stressed out that they didn't turn my mic on, but that was a quick fix. Me and my team, we've been, Raul and Alexi, who you'll hear from soon, have been doing these talks for a while, and it's great because it's for a good cause, and we really get to catch you guys at a great age to inspire you to stay true to your course and everything that makes you special. And I'll tell you why. I'm weird. I'm a weird, strange dude. And you know what? When did weird become a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. It's what makes you special. It's what makes you stand out. Everybody that I look up to in my life, actors, musicians, politicians. They were doing something different. They stood out. You can't be different by not at least being a little weird. And I owe everything in my life to being weird. Is there anyone out there proud of being a little weird? Anyone? Yeah? Oh, there are a lot of you. Yes. That's great, that's great. That's very good, that's very good. So you have to hold on to that thing.
My name is Alexi Kudo. I'm a 22-year-old singer-songwriter from Brampton. And today I'm here to talk to you about bullying and how I went through it and how I overcame it. And a little bit about also some female empowerment in here for my beautiful young ladies. So I have been playing the piano and singing since I was 3 years old, and music has been my entire life ever since then. It's what I wake up in the morning wanting to do. It's what I dream about. It is my passion, and it is what I cannot live without. And I'm so happy that I have that, and I have something to turn to every single day in my life, because we all need that, and we all need something to hold us together. So, my bullying story, when I was going into high school, so I was about 14 years old, I lost some of my best friends. They turned me away and said, you know, you're stopping us from being cool, and you're stopping us from having fun. And that reason was because I had seizures. And that was a really difficult time in my life. It was a very hard journey, and it was emotionally exhausting as well as physically exhausting. And it was really hard, but when I went into high school, even though I didn't have that best friend to turn to, or, you know, someone just to have fun with every single day, I said, you know what, I do have one thing, and that's music. So that's exactly what I turned to. I wrote and I sang and I did whatever I could just to keep doing music and to occupy myself from what I knew really did matter. Because why would I want people that make fun of me or tear me down and tell me